Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. If you're watching live, this is take 2. If you're not watching live, well, then it's take 1 because, well, messed up. Need to get some of my stuff fixed, and because of that, I forget to do certain things don't work like they're supposed to. But with that, we are here March 3rd, 2022. It's a Friday, it's the wrestling wrap-up, and it's a whole handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. As far as today's show does go, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4.5 stories, I guess you could say. The final 2 kind of go together, so I'm going to lump them all together. 4.5 stories there. We're going to talk about WrestleMania, what's going on with WrestleMania, more specifically, Kevin Owens and Steve Austin. The reported and maybe debunked health issues with William Regal. Is MVP ever going to get cleared? And we're going to see the ROH Tag Team Champions in AEW, all that and more, possibly, maybe, on this episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I want to say thank you for joining me here, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because if you ain't got the money like Cold Cuts KC recently did, and hold on, we might be getting some breaking news. Give me one quick second, but let me get back to the intro. If you don't have the money to do a tiered subscription, just like Cold Cuts KC recently did, it's all good, because if you have Amazon Prime, if you're already paying for that, whether that's Prime Video or Prime Shipping, even though it's all lumped into one, you can take that Prime account, take that Twitch account, link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things, a lot of free stuff, like free games right now, Madden 22. It gives you free stuff for games like Madden 22, Fall Guys, New World, Lost Ark, and so much more. And it also always gives you 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel that you would want to subscribe to. I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe right here. But also remember, it doesn't have to be your Twitch account. It can be anybody's Twitch account. Whether that's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your mailman, the guy that changed your oil at Walmart the other day, the girl that helped you find that specific flavor of Oreos you were looking for, them Lady Gaga ones. You say, hey, you still got the Lady Gaga Oreos in stock? She said, we may have some in the back. She goes and finds them for you. You then ask her for her Twitch account or her Amazon account. Maybe you guys become friends. Maybe you guys become more than friends. You ask around on a date, bada bing, there you go. Hey, 6 years later, and you got 3 kids. But with that, on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, all super chats do get read live on the air. Plus, if you hit that join button down below, you become a member and and a member of the Unlimited Army with early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Plus, you can do all of that and support us at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, the way that's kind of free, whether you're trying to buy a brand new game like Sifu or Elden Ring or Rainbow Six Extraction, heck, you're trying to jump in to the latest DLC of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. When you're checking out, it'll ask you, do you have a creator code? And you do. It's PW Unlimited. Again, that code is PW Unlimited. Even if you're claiming the free games on the Epic Store, which right now it is Cities Skyline, or you're over there on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Nintendo Switch, you're playing Fall Guys, you're playing Rocket League, you're playing Fortnite, in the stores, on any of those games, on any of those platforms, it will ask you, hey, do you got an Epic Creator Code? And you do. It's PW Unlimited. Also, this podcast is brought to you by the PCDHive magazine, but we will talk about that later. First thing I want to talk about is today, even though we've been playing it since Sunday, is the launch of WWE 2K22. I will say, other than the servers not working properly, I'm loving this game. I'm really enjoying this game. We have some videos up on the channel. We did a live stream on Monday as soon as we were allowed to. I've live streamed it every night this week on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. It's been a blast. I've had so much fun with this game, and we're only going to continue to have even more fun, especially since it looks like today the servers are finally working properly. But I did want to pull in here because, you know, I'm not, I guess you could say, a professional reviewer. But I did want to pull in the review here from IGN and Mitchell Staltzman and what he thought of this game. As he stated, I'm going to read a little bit of, his review of the game off of IGN. He says, quote, "What a difference a year off makes. Coming off the heels of the disastrous WWE 2K20, 2K Games and developer Visual Concepts smartly decided to sit one out in order to refocus and essentially reset the series. And it's a good thing too, because the resulting WWE 2K22 is by far the most polished and freshest take on the franchise since it began way back in 2013. To be clear, that isn't to say that it is entirely free of bugs, awkward collision detection, server disconnects, and a few other long-standing problems. Most of them are under control now, and it's evident that the team truly took many major points of feedback to heart. The action is faster, the controls are less convoluted, and at the ground level, the wrestlers mostly all look fantastic. And there are no confounding loot boxes ruining the career mode's progression. On top of that, the total revamp of the striking grapple system is the kind of shakeup WWE 2K has been in desperate need of. He goes on more to talk about different modes in the game and everything, but his final words, his verdict, I guess you could say, on the game is 2K Games and Visual Concepts needed a win with WWE 2K22, and while it's far from a complete ground-up rebuild, it's quite possibly the biggest leap forward the series has ever seen. The year off was clearly paid dividends. Virtually all the major bugs I experienced with WWE 2K20 have been squashed. The revamped combat is faster, leaner, and full of smart tweaks that make it approachable for newcomers and rewarding for vets. My Rise takes the My Career mode into a bold new direction, and My GM offers a very niche, but nonetheless well put together management sim that's sure to be a blast if you can find a like-minded wrestling fan to play it with. All this on top of an impressive visual overhaul that makes all 160 plus superstars look the best they've ever looked in a video game. It's the rare case of marketing slogan that actually rings true. WWE 2K22 hits different. WWE 2K22 is a tremendous leap forward compared to WWE 2K20, and he gives it an 8 out of 10. Yes, they have given it an 8 out of 10. Now I see since Saturday's comment in the live chat on Twitch where he says, too bad it's their last game. That's not true. So Fightful, and I want to get this contributor's name correct because it wasn't Sean Ross Sapp who wrote this. No, I'm not trying to, dog on Sean or anything. Great guy. But I want to give credit to the man who actually wrote this story. So let me go over there. And why does it not want to load? Oh, Patreon being Patreon. Let's see. It is... I'm just going to read a little bit of this. From Mike Straw. He says, the relationship between WWE and Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of 2K Sports, may be coming to an end. And it could result in WWE moving their game to a competing publisher for the first time ever. Multiple sources have stated that WWE has had preliminary discussions with EA Electronic Arts about bringing the WWE game line over to one of the top gaming publishers in the world. Viewed as a make-or-break release for this series, there is a lot riding on the launch of WWE 2K22 and following the weeks and months. The last contract between the two parties was signed in 2016, and though no official details were made public, sources indicate that it was a 6-year agreement with an option to be extended. Should the game be well received by the public and sales be around expectations, an extension could not be far behind. Should it be deemed a failure, a move to EA could become a greater possibility than ever before. They also go on to state that talks with WWE and EA did go all the way back to last year, early January or early 2021. So this is not saying that it's going to EA officially. It's that WWE, yes, has had talks with EA. But if this game actually meets expectations or blows the expectations out of the water, because, well, to be completely honest, it's blown my expectations out of the water, but my expectations are completely different than what a company's expectations are. There's a good chance 2K gets another shot. They say, okay, we like this. You took the year off, you revamped the game, you made the game better. We'll give you that extension, whether that is another 6-year deal, whether that is a 3-year deal, 5-year, whatever. But they got to tell them, hey, you've got to impress us now. And whatever this extension is, whether that's 1, 3, 6, whatever. So it's not 100% a lock that EA is getting the WWE licensing to make their games, but there's a strong possibility. Now, I know what you're going to say. They already fucked this game up. People were playing and couldn't get online. Yes, but that's in what they called early access. Now, here's the thing. You knew how many people were pre-ordering this game. You knew X amount of people were getting in on Monday or Monday night, Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. And they said, oh, because more people than expected were playing in early access, the servers weren't ready for that much of a load. And I'm like, I get the excuse, but it's not an excuse because they know how many people have pre-ordered this game. They have an idea. Yes, come Tuesday, come Wednesday, more people can jump into the early access apparently. But it's a fact of, you know how many people roughly are going to be in this early access period. So what the hell? That's all I'm going to say. I mean, here, full transparency. Last Thursday, get an email, say, hey, we're going to send out codes on Friday for WWE 2K22 to be reviewed early, which is even before the early access. We were supposed to get those last Friday. I signed the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement and everything. They go, cool, be on the lookout Friday the 4th for a code. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. And I go, I want to play this game. This is really cool. I'm going to get a code again. Not the first time, but whatever. And then Friday evening, Friday afternoon, I get an email that goes, unfortunately, we've had an issue, and we hope to get codes out by the embargo on Monday, which was 3 a.m. Monday morning. So I go, oh, that's unfortunate. But then the first thing that pops into my mind is, is this game broke? Why are they pushing back? And it's already a ridiculous review time. Usually when you review a game, you get a week or two at least. Usually about 7 to 14 days. I've done it for other games, non-wrestling before as well. And so I'm like, ooh, they're already only giving us 3 days anyways because the embargo is 3 a.m. Monday morning. But now we're only going to get 2 days, maybe 1 day. Sunday morning at about 7, 8 a.m. I get an email, goes, hey, here's your code for WWE 2K22. Embargo 3 a.m. And I go, ooh, I'm going to be busy today. I've got this. I've got some non-wrestling, graphic design work I got to work on. We got AEW Revolution. I'm going to be running thin. And I didn't sleep that night. Anyways, game comes out and I go, okay, I'm going to load it up and what's going to be messed up? Or what are they going to, is there going to be a disclaimer saying, hey, we got this, and this? No. Fortunately, I load it up, play a match, or I do the tutorial actually. I load it up, do the tutorial, everything's running smooth. I do a match, no problems at all. I get in, done this stuff, and I go, this game is working, and it looks great, and it's good. Over there, freaking Mitchell Stoltzman giving it an 8. Totally back that up. I would give this game an 8 as well. If you guys haven't played WWE 2K22 yet, go play it. If you love wrestling games, it's a great game. If you love games that you can play with friends, whether that is local or online, it's great. If you're a streamer looking for content to stream, it's great in that it's great in that realm as well for multiple different reasons. Whether you're just playing matches, whether you're online trying to play against viewers like I did yesterday with Kind of Funny. I jumped in on one of their streams and I did a couple matches with them. Or the GM mode is also good to stream as well because the viewers can get engaged. Say you're doing a show, you're running NXT, and one of your matches gets like a 2-star rating. Well, if you go, how could I have made that better? Like, that was a tables match. It was Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Gonzalez. What the hell? Go to the chat and go chat. Suggestions? So not only is this a fun game just to play on your own, a fun game to play for friends, like get a group of friends together, because, I mean, it's a fighting game. And a fighting game that is easy for people to get into, but it's also really good streamer content. So again, if you can, if you got the means to, get WWE 2K22. It's on PC via Steam. It's on the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and the Xbox One. So yeah, I'm very excited. Hopefully, I'm excited to see if 2K gets to keep the game. Because what I've seen so far in 2K22, I want to see the next step. I know this is a, hey, we went back to basics on some things game. And that entices me or excites me on, oh, this is what you call basics? Now, what can you do next time? We don't know when the next time's going to be. Usually WWE games come out in October. This one came out in March. Are we going to get another one in October? I highly doubt that. Are we going to get another one from 2K next year? March 2023? Maybe that's the new thing. Have these games come out. I've always thought having the games come out right around WrestleMania or right before WrestleMania was the right bet, the right get. But I also get why you would want them to come out in October, because that's like when you're coming off of WrestleMania in April and you go through the summer and SummerSlam and all that. Then the draft's coming up in October, and that's kind of when WWE resets everything. So I get that. But 2K22, very worth your time. I will say that 100% for sure. 2K22 is worth everyone's time, even just going out and checking out. I mean, heck, go to your Redbox and rent it and see if you like it. And if you like it, buy it. If you get it on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, let's play. Let's play. Get online, I'll stream it, and we'll have some matches together. That's one of the goals I want to do with this game, is set up matches with you guys and play with you guys. But with that, our next story has to do with Lord William Regal. So, it was mentioned in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that William Regal may have some health issues, as Dave Meltzer wrote the following. Regal mentioned about having limited time left, and it freaked people out. Speaking on the promo he cut this past week on Dynamite. While Regal openly, in his autobiography and in public appearances, has talked extensively about substance abuse issues that nearly killed him a generation ago, that basically killed his career until he and Chris Benoit had a great match at the Brian Pillman Memorial Show one year, and he was so good, it renewed interest in him, and he worked with WWE for a long period of time after being brought back. Apparently, Regal's health issues at this stage are far more serious than have ever come out, and there is an interview that will be released next week that he did for Talk is Jericho that will detail them. Basically, he's saying that Regal did Talk is Jericho to talk about whatever these health issues are. There we go. Saying that they're more serious than have ever come out. We don't know what that really means. I know Dave may have more info than what he's leading on here because he is really good friends with Chris Jericho, and that's probably how he knows that Regal is on the Jericho show and talks about this. But King Regal, or Lord Regal, whatever you want to call him, did send out a tweet about an hour ago, I guess you could say disputing this, stating the following. I want to pull this up on the screen. I actually want to pull this up here. Already? That's why I stay out of the rumor mill and gossip. I just found out that there's things being printed about my health. I am healthier than I've ever been in many years. I talked this week to someone about things that happened to me in 2018. So that's where the confusion comes from. He may have had some serious health issues in 2018, and the way maybe it got relayed to Meltzer is that they were current. So Regal here does state that he's good, he's healthier than he's ever been, and that anything that he talks about in that Talk is Jericho interview is from previous health issues. So that, I just wanted to bring that story to light in case all you saw was the stuff this morning on Regal's got health issues, serious health issues, William Regal. They were on every website after Meltzer printed that last night. And so I wanted to bring you, in case you didn't see Regal's tweet himself, that he clarified what all this is going to be once we do listen to that episode of Talk is Jericho next week. But speaking of health issues, some health issues can be considered injuries. MVP's been injured for a while, and he recently spoke with Freddie Prinze Jr. on this week's Wrestling with Freddie podcast, where he talked about his current knee injury, or now previous knee injury, as he's looking forward to getting cleared as MVP actually told Freddie Prinze the following. I'm doing well, man. I'm actually in a hotel room in Orlando right now, going through my physical assessment, to get cleared to get back into the ring because, I had the knee injury for a while. It's all healed up. So now it's just a matter of me jumping through their hoops to make sure that I'm physically capable of performing in the ring. So I'm feeling good, man. The knee injury, the torn meniscus, is completely healed. And now it's just a matter of rebuilding the strength in the leg from my atrophy muscle. My teardrop is gone, non-existent. I'm building the backup, and my cardio is much better than I thought it would be because I actually hired a trainer, and I've been working on it. So I'm further along than I thought I would be. So that's really good to hear. I don't know when this interview was actually recorded for the Wrestling on Freddie podcast, but MVP did state that he was in Orlando recently, which I would assume the PC. He's looking to go get cleared. He's doing everything that they're asking of him. And hopefully we can see MVP back in the ring sooner rather than later, because I've been waiting. I've always been an MVP fan all the way back to when he was the highest paid athlete in Smackdown history. I've always been an MVP fan. I've always thought that he was great in the ring. Even in this comeback, people have criticized him. You're too old. You've gained too much weight. You're slower than you used to be. You're not the same. No. I've thought that he took all those negatives, getting older, getting fat, not fatter, but getting larger, putting on weight because, you're older. It's harder for you to lose the weight. Slower because of your age. I thought he's taken all those and worked them into his new style to still make him a very successful professional wrestler. So, it's only a matter of time before, the baller, Montel Vontavious Porter, can get back into the ring. He was doing everything they asked. He was getting his physical done, and he was getting assessed to see if they can clear him, as he said that his knee injury is completely healed up. As we move forward, talk a little AEW. Actually, a little AEW Ring of Honor crossover story. So the current Ring of Honor tag team champions are Mark and Jay Briscoe. But it looks like they're not expected to be coming into AEW anytime soon. And we still don't know full details. We don't know if that means they're just not going to work AEW or if they're not going to work the new Ring of Honor under AEW. Hot Rod Bubba, I thought it was breaking news. It wasn't breaking news. I got sent something that actually someone thought was new. They said, hey, is this new news? It wasn't. We've talked about it before and so forth. So it's nothing. It's nothing, Hot Rod Bubba. But anyways, back to the Briscoes. So there have been rumors for a little bit that AEW were looking to sign the Briscoes, again, the current Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. After Ring of Honor went on their hiatus, everybody became free agents, and then we learned, Tony Khan owns the company, so we'll see what all that means. How is he going to use ROH talent? How is he going to book ROH? Who's going to be in ROH? Are the champions still the champions? And so forth. And in an update from Fightful, they report that a person of influence at Warner Media did not want Mark and Jay Briscoe signed to AEW, mainly due to Jay's homophobic tweets from 2013. Jay ended up apologizing for those tweets shortly after, I think like a week later, on the next ROH show, but it still wasn't enough. It was stated that management and Ring of Honor have always viewed them highly. They've never caused any other issues, either of them, ever since then. And it was also noted that prior to the Ring of Honor sale, there were talks that AEW did not have plans to sign the Briscoes. There's no word if there's even interest from AEW, but Warner Media higher-ups not wanting the Briscoes signed would be an issue, even if there was interest on AEW and Tony Khan's part. ROH sources noted that the Briscoes, quote, the Briscoes credit that they hadn't caused any issues for the company since those tweets in 2013. One AEW source added that the Briscoes were made for TV, but you can't blame AEW or Warner Media for wanting to shy away from them. And that's the same thing that happened with WWE. Right around 2013, WWE, I don't know if they did or were going to bring the Briscoes in for a tryout. But I know they were highly, highly, highly interested in Mark and Jay Briscoe coming into WWE. Then Jay tweets out the homophobic tweets. I don't remember exactly what they stated, but I remember they were bad and people were very offended. And WWE media was like, we're not interested anymore. And they haven't been interested since. And so now it looks like the Briscoes, even from what they said all the way back then, and that's, people, you say, people change. What people say all the way back then may not be how they feel nowadays. They could have said stuff 2013, so that's a decade ago, almost 9 years ago, is not how they are now. Your younger self was stupid, dumb, you said things you regret now. Also, speaking of them and being the tag team champions, people have been asking for a while, hey, what's going on with them and FTR? The report also stated that months ago, there were no imminent plans for the two teams to actually have a match. Many independent bookers and company owners and promotion owners actually reached out to say, we'll do the match in our promotion, we'll do the match here, and actually pay the teams more than what normal people get paid on the indie scene, because we know this is a big match. We know this is a high-profile match, and we know this match is worth the money that we would pay. So it was said that they would, quote, get at least, where's the quote here? It says, quote, multiple indie promoters have been willing to pay significant money to make it happen. More money than the indie standard. So it's unfortunate. The Briscoes are great. I've always loved them boys from Sandy Hook. Not Sandy Hook. Where are they from again? That's not right, is it? They're from build from Sandy Fork. Sandy Fork. I knew it was Sandy something. Sandy Fork. Them boys from Sandy Fork. I've always been fans of them. I've always thought they were great. And hopefully they get signed and picked up and can continue to work somewhere. I mean, the current Ring of Honor World Champion or Tag Team Champions. Now, we don't know what that means anymore with Tony Khan now owning AEW. Is Tony Khan going to keep all the champions the champions? Is Tony Khan going to strip them and crown new champions? Or is Tony Khan just going to book them and immediately beat them and have the titles taken off of them? Again, that's something we don't know. We don't even know if Supercard of Honor is still running on April 1st or not. Before we get into our last and a half-ish news stories, I want to tell you that this podcast, Wrestling Wrap-Up, for March 11th, 2022, is brought to you by the PCDHive Magazine. Issue 1 of the PCDHive Magazine is available now to purchase digitally. This magazine focuses on mental health, self-love, and features a number of different creators in every single issue, from writers, poets, artists, and more. Right now, the PCDHive Magazine is available for $1, and you can get it from the link in the description below or by heading over to PCDHive.com. Again, check out the March edition of the PCDHive Magazine, and it is available right now for $1. Full disclosure, I work on this magazine. I designed the whole thing. I put the whole thing together. They came to me and said, we got the concept, we got the content, we need an artist, a graphic designer, somebody that can put it all together and make it an actual deal. And so that's where I came in. I had a lot of fun doing this. The goal is to do it monthly, one magazine a month, and hopefully we can continue to grow this. And right now, for the foreseeable future, $1. We're selling it for just $1. So again, head over to the link in the description below or to PCDHive.com. Check out the first edition of the PCDHive magazine. As we move into kind of our last story, but technically it's like two stories in one. What the heck's going on with Steve Austin, Kevin Owens at as Santino would call it, WrestleMania? WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin is reportedly working on his cardio as he prepares to get physical with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38. Now, there have been rumors that Austin's going to work a match with Kevin Owens. Then it turned into, no, they're going to do a segment, but Austin's going to get physical. Then, this past week, Kevin Owens made the challenge. Stone Cold, come join me at WrestleMania for the KO show. Austin, the next day, accepted that challenge with stating, he's like, it's been 19 years since I've had a match. I've been in that ring. Whether this is a match, a fight, a brawl, whatever, consider me there. Something like that. Something like that's what he said. And we got a little more info on what this is going to be for Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, as Meltzer states that the scheduled match was changed as Austin agreed to the segment with a, quote, fight sequence. Let me reread that. I mumbled through that. The scheduled match was changed as Austin agreed to do the segment with a, quote, fight sequence, but not an actual match. Word is that Austin has been upping his cardio as of late. The current plan for the segment at WrestleMania calls for a fight scene and not just a quick stone cold stunner to Owens. It was noted that the segment is planned to consist of more than just a stunner, but the stunner is the obvious conclusion. There are still talks of doing an angle to lead into the match, or whatever this is going to be, between Owens and Austin. If Austin were to agree to it, WWE felt that they needed to announce something as we get closer and closer to the card. So to be honest, I read this, I hear this, I go, oh, fight sequence. It's a segment, it's a KO show. They're going to end up going to blows, and Austin's going to stun him and pin him. 1, 2, 3. What does this sound like, ladies and gentlemen? Let me dial things back a little bit. To Dallas, Texas, the last time WrestleMania was there, WrestleMania 32. There was a spry young lad in the ring named Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Out would then come a family known as the Wyatt family. He would go verbally back and forth with Bray Wyatt before finally saying, yeah, balded, red-headed beard guy, red beard, whatever, I'll fight him. Ding, ding, ding. Rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. 6 seconds later, The Rock defeated Eric Rowan. So, like, that's what this is going to be. You're going to go back and forth verbally. Austin, fuck Texas, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then finally Austin's like, oh, really? Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. Lock up. Stunner, ka-chew. 1, 2, 3. You know, something like that. I feel like that's what this is going to be. Going to be, in my opinion, from what I'm taking from this, and I could be wrong in what I'm assuming here, but this sounds a lot like The Rock, Eric Rowan, WrestleMania 32, the last time they were in the whole Dallas AT&T Stadium. So yeah, that's what I feel like this is going to be. Something very, very similar to that. And finally, the last little news nugget, I guess you can say, comes from WrestleVotes, and it pertains to WrestleMania, so that's why I said these two things kind of tie in together. With 9 matches official for WrestleMania so far, not including KO Austin, source states to expect up to 7. Source states to expect up to 7 more matches to be announced. The biggest domino yet to fall is Seth Rollins, for obvious reasons. Now you go, huh? Obvious reasons? What does that mean? Come on, camera, turn back on. There we go. What does that mean? Well, there's one man that now WWE full stop. A lot of people, including myself, think we can get Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania if Cody agrees to sign. Now, here's the thing. WWE has not really technically teased Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. We've just all kind of built that up in our own minds. But where is WWE going to be this Monday? According to Dave Meltzer on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, he stated that he still hadn't heard if Cody Rhodes was signing with WWE or not, but that the plan always was if they got Cody, he wasn't coming until the Jacksonville show. Hence, this coming Monday. So, that was always the plan. That if they got Cody, he would come in Jacksonville. When are we in Jacksonville? Monday. Why haven't they announced anything for Seth? Because of obvious reasons. Well, if he's facing Cody, they got to wait till Monday. Just saying. But 9 matches, not counting Owens and Austin, have been announced. Is there really 9 already? Hold on. I don't think that's right. I could be wrong, though. So, WrestleMania 38. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, 9. 4 matches for night 1 and 5 matches for night 2. Yeah, that is correct. All right. 9 matches. 7 more would mean 16. You break that in 2. That's 8 matches a night. Last year it was 7 matches a night. There you go. Actually, no, never mind. 8 matches. 9. Wikipedia's got Raw Tag Title match listed, but that's not officially been announced. They're just saying that on Raw, they basically said RK Bro are the new tag team champions, which means they've got a path to WrestleMania. So it's an assumption that they're wrestling at WrestleMania, I would assume. But so 8 matches, 9 matches announced, 7 more to go. That makes 16, 8 matches a night. We'll see what happens. But what we do know, some stuff for tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. Tonight is Friday Night Smackdown on Fox, and we do know of a couple of things, but here's the thing. They announced stuff last week, but they're not advertising it now. The only thing that is actually still being advertised on WWE.com is that tonight, Big E and Kofi Kingston will take on Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Now, last week, they did announce Sasha Banks versus Queen Zelina, yet it is, as of the start of this video, 40-something minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, that match was not listed on WWE.com. Sasha Banks versus Queen Zelina. Now, in the commercial that ran this week on both Raw and NXT, they are teasing a confrontation between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, and Brock Lesnar is advertised for tonight's Monday Night Raw. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap up the wrap-up. A head full of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. If you're watching here live Friday morning, well, tonight, Friday evening, we're going to be back talking Friday night, as Pat McAfee says, Smackdown. Smackdown. Speaking of Pat McAfee, I retweeted a video he posted about wrestling being one of his dreams. Fantastic video. Go check it out. It's on his Twitter. We've retweeted it at PW Unlimited as well. But yeah, see you guys later for Friday Night Smackdown. Have a good rest of your Friday. If you're not watching us on Friday, then have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.